Right, in this session, we're going to look at multilingual remote meetings and we're going to use Microsoft Translator to enable these. So what we're going to think about is how we set up the teacher's device and the parent's device. We're going to need Microsoft Translator and the device that individuals use is up to them. So the teacher could be on a laptop and the parent on a mobile phone. That's fine. The steps that we will talk through are the same on each of them. So the reason for doing this is so that we can have remote meetings. If we can't meet face to face and language is a barrier to the communication, this is Microsoft Translator is a wonderful tool that enables you to have that meeting and you can do it where you are speaking or typing your responses. But I'm going to walk you through those things now. Okay, so um, if you're using the laptop, you might want to go over to Microsoft Translator website, which you can do by following the link here. Launch that, and then you're going to get into that first screen, which will look the same on whatever device you're using. So you need to, when you get the choice here of the join conversation or start conversation, as the educator, the teacher that is initiating and setting up this meeting, you need to start the conversation. So you click onto that tab and then in there you input your name and your preferred language. And then you click into enter and you'll go into that conversation. And you can see on the left that the conversation bot has welcomed me in. Right at the top of that screen, you can see this code, which is for this specific conversation. Now, it's this code that we need to share with parents. So you can text that to them before the scheduled time of the meeting or email it to them. Once they have that code, they can get into this specific meeting. Okay, so we've got the code and I'm already, as the teacher, established into that conversation. Um, if you are using a headset, as the teacher on here, you can see that I can click onto presenter mode. This means that when I'm using the headset, I can speak freely. If you don't want to use a headset, you can just click the microphone button each time. So each time you're going to speak, click onto the microphone and your language, your words will be conveyed. Okay. So if we go back to the teacher screen, you can see that the conversation has been initiated. I'm on there as the teacher. I've been welcomed into the conversation and you can actually see that I've already started to connect with the parent and I've put in, I've spoken what I wanted to say and that started that conversation. So I now need to flip over to make sure that we can set up the parent device. So the parent can use a laptop like the teacher is, or if a mobile phone is easier or a tablet, that is also fine. What we need to do is to make sure prior to the scheduled meeting that they have downloaded the Microsoft Translator app. So they can do that from their app store. They just need to download that. It's free and it's really easy and quick to do. So once they've done that, they need to launch that app on their device and they need to select the two-person icon. That's the conversation icon. Once they've selected that, they get this screen just like we had at the beginning when we set up the teacher, whether they want to join a conversation or start a conversation. Now, the teacher has already started the conversation and generated the code, and we want them to join that conversation. So if they click on to join conversation, and this is where they input the code that the teacher has already sent to them. So the teacher will have texted this code or emailed this code across to them, and they just need to pop that code into there and click join. Then they follow those same steps. So they get the screen where it asks you your name and your language. And then you can see that this individual has been invited into the conversation and the conversation bot is using their preferred language of Chinese and started that conversation. So if we go back to the teacher's screen, you can see that the conversation is flowing here. Um, the parent in this case is speaking Italian. So what is being said by the teacher in English is then being translated into Italian for the parent. And the parent and teacher can both choose to either use their mics to speak and have this translated, or they can type and text in what they want to. You will find as well that you will see on screen the information of the conversation, but you will also hear it. So you can see it in front of you and you can hear it in your chosen language. So that's really how you set up Translator for those remote meetings. So it's using a teacher device and a parent device. It's making sure that that code is shared before the meeting. So once you've scheduled the meeting, initiating that conversation and just sharing that code prior to the meeting by text or by email, and making sure it's really important that we make sure that the parent has downloaded the Microsoft Translator, and then you can have that free flowing conversation. You can also, with that code, you can invite more than one set of people. So you may need on some meetings to have the parents involved. You might also need some other professionals. So again, it's just making sure that you share that code, and then those people can join that meeting and join that conversation.